Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Purple Charm Experience podcast. I am your host, romance author Chamara E. Fleming, but you can call me Mai. This is a show with a purpose to motivate, aspire, and inspire you while sharing my writer's journey with you, accompanied by a fabulous sip and a little bit of Prince history. Today, for Ask the Author, I am joined by special guest author, Kathryn P. Carter, also known as KP Carter, the Literary Whisperer. She has a brilliant new children's book called Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes. And this book is already off to an incredible start by achieving #1 Amazon bestseller status in the children's 20th century American history, children's Black and African American history, Black and African story. Can I get it out? Children, Black and African American stories, and children's chapter books. As a self-publishing author myself, I know achieving this status is no small feat. Kathryn has a 35-year career in education, earning her BA degree in elementary education from Johnson C. Smith University. And she was awarded a fellowship to attend Kutztown State University, where she earned her Master's of Education in Reading Education. She's currently an educational consultant, children's book author, and speaker. Now, this is this is the awesome part of all of the accolades and things that she's done. She's also a mother of 2 amazing adult sons, and she's a native New Jerseyan, but currently resides in North Carolina. I am excited, delighted, and honored to have a writer with such an accomplished professional career and background of her character caliber on the show. So without further ado, everyone, please welcome Kathryn P. Carter, AKA KP Carter, the Literary Whisperer. Thanks for joining us, Kathryn.
Oh,
I got hung up in there.
Thank you so much. And I so appreciate this chance to chat with you. I'm so excited. We're both members of a wonderful organization. And when I saw your information and the things that you're doing, I was like, I have to reach out to this wonderful young woman.
Oh, thank you so much. Like I am so thankful and grateful to Tia from the Black Writers Collective. She is amazing. Tia Ross, she's doing amazing things over there. And I've met some incredible authors because of this collective. Just being able to be in the same room with like minds and bouncing ideas and sharing each other's experiences and resources and stories. It just motivates me and keeps me inspired to continue writing. And so as soon as you reached out, I couldn't help but say, yes, come on, please. And to know that you're doing amazing work too, Ms. Carter, I was just blown away. And your website, guys, if you have not visited her website, it's kpcarterwrites.net.
kpcarterwrites.com.
Oh, .com. Okay.
Yes.
Please check her website out. She has some amazing resources on there. She's consulting, and I'll let her tell more about herself and what she's doing. But Ms. Carter, please tell us more about you and what you're doing.
Yes. So I am KP Carter, the Literacy Whisperer. Now, you've heard of the horse whisperer and the dog whisperer. I'm the literacy whisperer.
Yes, ma'am.
And my goal is to inspire and encourage children on the journey to becoming reading rock stars.
Yes.
That for me is what it's all about. And as you mentioned already, I have 35 years of experience in the field of education. As before I retired, I was the director for language arts and testing in my school district.
Wow.
But I'm a certified reading specialist. And what I'm most proud of, I'm a classroom teacher. Fourth
Wow.
grade was my sweet spot. I taught many grades over the years, but fourth grade was my sweet spot, which is why I decided to write for that age group, because they're just coming out. I mean, picture books are for everybody, but
Right.
they're starting to get into the chapter books and reading longer texts with fewer pictures, so that they really have to use their critical reading skills. And they need good books. They need good books.
Right. And guys, I have both of them right here. Amazing illustrations, just beautiful books. I think one of the things that really jumped out at me is just, is really touching whenever we have books that are for us, by us, but to see, these beautiful illustrations of Lizzie and her friends and the different characters in the book. It was just beautiful, touching to me as I started reading through Lizzie, Summertime with Lizzie B. And I love the book, even though I'm not a kid. I'm a kid at heart.
Yes.
I love the beginning pages. I won't give away too much, but I just love the beginning pages of the Lizzie taking the cod liver oil, because it reminded me of when I was little, growing up in the 80s. My mom used to give it to me.
That's right.
And so I feel like even if there are adults who actually pick up this book and read it, I think there are so many jewels and gems just for the lover of books, who the person who loves to read. And I think you do such a wonderful job capturing the essence of childhood and summertime, especially for a lot of us who are African American children who grew up doing a lot of the things that Lizzie and her cousins did during the summer.
Yes.
I love that. Speak a little bit about that and how you were able to capture those moments.
So Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes. Well, you have these backgrounds on. So anyway, this is the second edition. I've got to get this to you.
Okay.
These are historical fiction books, and they are about growing up in the 1960s during the in Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
I'm a native of New Jersey. And so I grew up in the 50s and 60s. So it's based on experiences that I've had, kids that I knew, things that me and my cousins did.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to tell a story about that time period, but show that kids were just being kids.
Right.
No matter what the turmoil that was going on, because that was the height of the civil rights era. And in the first book, that was during the summer of the 1967 unrest.
Wow.
Many people remember it as a riot. Some people remember it as a revolution or a rebellion. It depends on what your experience was.
Right.
And I lived during that time. And our adults that were around us just wanted us to be safe and wanted us to still be kids and have fun.
Right.
And play in the streets.
Right.
Yes.
I love the fact that you did it as a historical chapter book, because it gives children the opportunity to find these breadcrumbs to go and do further research to find out about that time. With today's climate where people are very quick to dismiss history, to see it through the eyes of a child in a way that magnifies, the period in a way that makes it makes you want to go and that extra learning. I love the way you did that because um I think a lot of children can get some really good knowledge and nuggets from this story.
Definitely, definitely. And I also wanted children to be able to draw connections between
Right.
things that were going on then, things that are going on now, because of course you have to know about the past. All of what this climate that we're in right now, it can be frightening,
Right.
but we adults have to push forward and make sure that our children know these stories. And not
Right.
just our children, all
All
children need
children.
to know because they need to know to that creates empathy and understanding
Right.
and acceptance of each other.
Right. And one of the things that kind of came up for me is like and you just spoke about it a little bit just a second ago, but I wanted you to dive in a little bit more into, you know, as an educator of over 35 years, and then coupled with your own childhood experiences, um how how was it trying to relate these stories in present day with the children who are living through a lot of the racial tensions that we're dealing with right now? You know, George Floyd, that particular point in time, the COVID, all of that stuff coming together. How difficult or how challenging and or easy was it for you to be able to pull those experiences from your childhood, your experience as an educator, and bring that all together for this story?
So it was a challenge because I wanted to tap into children's emotions.
Right.
That was a real at the forefront of what I was doing. I wanted children to see that, yeah, you have these emotions and you're not alone.
Right.
And there is a way to process them and get through them.
Right.
So, for instance, this won't be giving much away. Lizzie's parents are divorced,
Right. Right.
and she lives with her extended family.
Right.
That's an experience that many children have.
Correct.
So it's to help children really be able to see that they can push through, they can persevere,
Mm-hmm.
and things are going to be all right. Life is still good. Your
Right.
family loves you, and you can make it.
I love that because I feel like piggybacking off of what you just said, that a child is able to see themselves in Lizzie easily, no matter color or background. I feel like you created a character that all children can see themselves in because of her environment, the atmosphere that they're living through, and um, how she is navigating these things as a child. I just love the way you did that.
Yes,
Amazing.
she's such a special little person.
Yes. Now, how did you come up with her character?
So Lizzie is a lot like me when I
Uh-huh.
was a child, but I thought of the different children that I knew and
Right.
the different children that I've taught over the years. And I kind of pulled from this one and pulled from that one and just created her character. A lot of people wanted to know, oh, how did you come up with the name? The name came to me in a dream.
Isn't
Her
that
name,
amazing? I
and
love that.
and I have it's not just these two books. I'm working on the third,
Uh-huh.
and I had a dream for 7 books in this series.
Wow.
So it's
Completion. 7 is
just
completion.
7 is completion. Yes, yes. So I have the outline for all of them, but it's having her to grow up, seeing what it's like the book that I'm working on now. She's in junior high school,
Okay.
and it's 1970, and it
Okay.
is the year that the first African American mayor was elected in Newark, New Jersey, Kenneth A.
Okay.
Gibson. So all of that is going on in the background while she's navigating being in junior high school
That's awesome.
at 12, and you know what girls go through
Yes.
at that time. She's now she's become really good at basketball, and she wants to be liked by others.
Yeah.
So
She's dealing with the social aspect of growing up.
exactly.
That's pretty cool. I love it because it gives children who starts with the series a chance to grow up with the series, kind of like
Right.
the Harry Potter series in a sense.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
give you
I had a time trying to figure out, do I keep her the same age, like Judy Moody and
mhm,
all of those, or do I let her grow up? And I decided to let her grow up. One reason is because as I went around and having author visits with children,
mhm.
the first two books are about summer experiences. They were like, well, I want to know what happens to her when school starts.
Oh, oh,
Okay, well, let me think about letting her grow up. So
yeah, that makes and it
that's
makes
how it
sense.
happened.
And it makes sense because your readers are telling you this is what
Yes,
you want, and you're
this
giving
is
them
what we want.
exactly what they
Hmm.
want. Um, that is amazing. Like I
Yes,
love the fact that we get to see her grow into this little young lady.
yes.
And so I can't I'm definitely gonna push my son to get it because he reads a lot of books. He's reading Roald
Yes.
Dahl, all these other books, and I really
Right, right, right.
yours. We read JC Moore's book over
Yeah.
summer too. So I'm just happy to read have other children's authors that are women of color that my sons can grow up with, and we can pass these stories along to other children that in our family and beyond. So
Yes.
this is amazing. It's just
Yes.
incredible. I can't wait to see what you do,
Ah,
Lizzie.
and you didn't get to the second book yet, but October is Bullying Prevention Month.
Oh
So
yeah.
in the second book, she is off to Girl Scout camp, and there is a bully in her cabin. She's there 2 weeks
Oh,
and has to endure. And then she and the bully there's a little conflict going on. But it shows you also, I try to let kids know, what is it that makes a person become a bully?
right,
So
right.
I go into that character. Her name is Coco.
Oh,
You'll
that's nice. That's
find out
nice.
about her.
I,
Yeah.
I like that you did that because it gives because we always see it from the side where the bully is just bullying. You
Right.
don't really see the backstory of why they become
Yeah.
that way, or they could what they could be dealing with that caused them to be that way. So
Right.
I love that because it also creates an opportunity for discussion out
Exactly.
of the book, for families and families and educators to have these conversations
Hmm.
amongst community so that you can address it in a positive way.
Right. Because a lot of times it's just trying to redirect that bully and get them to see there's a better way.
Right, right.
There's a better way. So
You know,
yes.
and one of the other things that I love about the Lizzie B story, the second edition, is that I saw a lot of the parallels from my current work in progress, my fourth book that I'm working on. My character is from Brooklyn, and
Ah,
it's so funny. And his family came up during the Great Migration as well. So I was
yes.
like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
when I see like things like that, it's like confirmation that I'm on the right track to doing what I'm
Exactly.
supposed to be doing. And so I was just like, oh, this is cool. And then another thing that I love is that you have some, I feel like this was like meant to be because I'm from North Carolina. I'm from Greensboro. And when I saw in your bio that you currently live in North Carolina, I was like, oh my God, I gotta know where do you where you live?
Yes, yes. I am in Concord.
Oh, okay,
I'm
yeah,
right outside of Charlotte. Yes,
yes. I used to
right.
drive through there all the time.
Yes, yes.
So how long have you been down there?
Actually, this month makes a year.
Really?
1 year. Yes. Last year, this time, I was packing up, getting myself ready to get
Wow.
down here. I retired actually 6 years ago.
Okay.
But and I was all set to come at that time,
Hmm.
but I had a cancer experience.
Okay.
And I had to say, okay, God, you're not saying no, you're just saying not now.
Right,
But it
right.
took me a while to get there.
Now you're there. Oh my
Now I'm
goodness.
here.
Do you
I'm here.
feel like living in the South will spark up any new type of stories outside of the Lizzie B experience once you complete that, or
It
do you have
could
any
be.
ideas?
I don't have any ideas yet, but I'm sure now that COVID is, going
Calming
on the
down.
wane
Right.
and calming down, that I will get some more ideas. But I really want to focus on getting this series finished.
Yeah.
And I also do parent workshops
Okay. Okay.
to help parents understand what they need to do to support their child at home with
Wonderful.
reading.
Now,
And so,
how often do you do your workshops? Do you have any
so
upcoming?
I don't have any upcoming right now because I'm getting ready to do a big event at a school, an
Okay.
in-person event in November. But
Okay.
I do offer it virtually as well.
You
It's
guys hear
called
that?
10 Steps to Reading Success.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone, you hear that? You reach out.
Reach me out. Let me know, because that's why I call myself the literacy whisperer, because after all of this time in education and working with so many different kinds of children, I know what it takes to help a child to feel successful.
Right.
And I'm tutoring as well. I have a few students that I tutor individually because they just need a push. They just need a push. They need some direction, and they need more than what they can get in a classroom environment.
Right. Right. Do you do virtual sessions as well?
Yes, I do
Okay.
virtual. All my tutoring sessions are virtual. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I might have to keep you in mind. I have a little one
Yeah.
that might need some help.
Yeah.
So what motivates you to write? What keeps you inspired to sit down and work on these stories?
What inspires me is that, well, what inspired me initially was that I wanted my sons to see themselves in books. I wanted them to
Mhm.
have good stories to read, positive experiences that
Right.
they could see themselves.
Right.
So that was my initial motivation. And that's what keeps me going. I know that there are kids out there who
Right.
need to read my books.
That's right.
They're hungry for my books.
That's right.
So that keeps me going.
Wow.
That
Wow.
that really
That
keeps me
that
going.
that right there is enough. That's it. That is it. And so what were some of your favorite children's books and favorite children's authors?
So back in the day, you asking me to remember a long, long, long time ago. I don't
Just
remember.
get
I don't have
one.
really a favorite. I know I have favorites of what I read to my sons,
Mhm. Mhm.
but not Buddy and the Watsons Go to Birmingham.
Ooh.
That those two books helped my younger son to really get hooked into reading.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they really helped him. And Good Night Moon. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. I
Wow.
think I have that book memorized. I've read it so much.
Oh, I have to pick that one up for my littles. I have two
Oh,
sons too. That's
oh,
another thing
do
that we have in
you?
connection. Yeah.
Boy, mom.
Yeah, boy, mom.
Yes, yes.
Uh-huh. And so like one of my favorites was Mafaro's Beautiful Daughters.
Oh, yes,
Yes, I
yes.
love that book. I actually I couldn't find it for years, and recently, about a year, maybe about a year or two ago, before I had my second son, I just went on Amazon. I was like, I gotta find that book. I have to find that book. When I finally found it, they only had a few copies at the time. I just bought it, and I have it so that my boys
Yeah,
will now.
that's a beautiful book. I taught that book in fourth
Did
grade.
you?
I did. Yeah, that
It
was a
was one
part
of
of
my
our curriculum.
favorites.
Hmm.
Absolute favorites. And so,
Yes, indeed.
yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
Hmm.
But I have to get some of the ones that you're talking about for my boys.
Oh yeah, Bud Not Buddy, and Christopher Paul Curtis is the author, and those two books are highly recommended.
Okay.
And as you go into the YA series,
Mhm, mhm.
I would highly recommend Jason Reynolds series. He has so many books. Ghost is one that comes off the top of my head.
Ooh.
And then there's another one that is if your child likes, oh, what is it?
Graphic
Not
novels.
supernatural, but fantasy.
Fantasy.
Oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Let me see if I can see it over there on my shelf. Of course, I can't see it right now, but I'll shoot it to you afterwards.
Okay.
It is fabulous.
Okay.
Any child that likes fantasy.
Yes. Yes. My little one, oh my gosh.
I got it. Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky.
Tristan.
That's it.
Okay.
Tristan Strong punches a hole in the sky.
I like the title.
Oh,
Do you read these in your classes?
um,
Or
so no, I haven't read these particular books in my classes. I'm working with a few little people who really need a lot of remediation.
Right.
So I'm really like just taking them from
Focusing.
where they are and moving them along, who they need some help with vocabulary development, comps. A lot of children, believe it or not, they need phonetic instruction. They
Right.
need to know the sounds of the letters so that they can feel strong to approach words that they don't know.
And how did you feel about COVID hit us hard in the school, like kids in school. I know for my oldest son, at the time it was just him because I have a 9-month-old now. But at the time it was just him, and we struggled. Did you see, what did you feel, and how did you feel as far as like students development in terms of their reading was impacted by COVID? Because I know my son, it took us a year just to
catch up.
Catch back up, yeah.
Because there is a different way to learn when you're reading something on the screen.
Right. Oh.
And when you are not able to really get a lot of instruction, where you're asked to do things, worksheets and things on your own, and you haven't had a real strong foundation of the instruction. That is kind of what pushed many children behind. And now I wasn't in the school system at the time. I'm grateful that I was not, because I don't know how I'm just thankful that there are young people out there who were able to do it. Right. But my young colleagues, they struggled.
Wow.
They struggled. Yeah. Because it's trying to get kids to really understand the concept, but you're not able to really be in the classroom with them. There's a different dynamic that happens when you're in person.
Right.
It's a different dynamic.
You can sit with them, and when you're seeing them struggle, you can, like, you literally can be in the same space and see that struggle happen and right. Pivot in the moment. And
that's it, pivot in the moment, because there was no pivoting in the moment.
Right. Because I know just what our little one, that whole on the screen, they get distracted easily.
Yes.
Sometimes the teacher has to focus on another child because.
Yes. And you have a whole classroom.
Right.
All those faces on the screen. Yeah, that's.
Right. We were lucky because at the time we was in a school that had small class sizes. So it wasn't, I think it was maybe like, I don't think it was more than 8 kids in the class at the time. And so it was a lot. I know it was a lot for the teacher. She wasn't used to instructing. She was an older lady. She really wasn't used to the whole virtual thing. And so but it really hurt us. COVID hurt us. And so I just wanted to get your take on how parents and also teachers fared during that time. And
and that was a lot on parents too, because parents got to see
what you deal with,
right, and to fill in a gap that some people may or may not have the capacity to do.
Correct. Oh, yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Um, wow. Wow. And so what kind of advice would you give to other aspiring authors or children's authors that are coming up that would like to get in this space?
oh, I just say get started.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story to tell.
Right.
Everybody has a story to tell. Just get started and start small. If you are writing something and you only have 10, 15 minutes a day, do stick to those
Right.
10, 15
Right.
minutes a day. But once you get started, get your story, get a good draft. And my number one tip, get a good editor.
Yes. Amen.
Get
Amen.
a good edit. It is virtually impossible to edit your own work.
Right. I agree.
I mean, I'm a reading specialist
Right.
and I do literacy all the time and I'm writing and everything. You can't see it.
That's true. That
You
is so
just
true.
cannot see it. Get a good editor. Get your own ISBNs.
Yes. Yes. What okay, so what has been some of your lessons learned over doing, and you're self-publishing too, correct?
I am.
Okay, so because this is a whole completely different dynamic when you self-publish. Everything is for you, by you, done by you, marketed by you, and it is not easy. And that was another thing I wanted to ask you. How in the world did you do the Amazon bestseller thing? Because people are still trying to crack the algorithm code.
I had a wonderful coach. And that's another thing too. You will probably need to invest in yourself and get some coaches to show you what to do. There's no way in the world I could have done that on my own.
Right.
But I had to follow exactly what she said to do.
Right, right.
Get people excited about my pre-order campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a month long, a little more than a month of leading up to the week before, the day of, and I mean posting and
right.
You know, all that posting on social media is like, what?
Yes. I literally had to take some time because it's a job in itself, honestly.
It is.
Literally, I post twice a day, every day. And I usually post something motivational and I do a motivational quote and a affirmation. And then I usually will post something about midweek. I post the podcast stuff. And then I'll post about my books. That's usually it.
Yes.
When you have a full-time, because I have a full-time job outside of this, it is difficult to keep up with work, a family. And I did it I've done it like for the last 4 years, I've done it, but it is tough doing that. And I don't think a lot of newer authors who come in realize how much you have to dedicate to getting the word out because,
mm-hmm.
you know, when you come out, no one knows who you are. And so you have to beat the pavement. You have to beat the drum. Hey, I have merchandise. Hey, I have a book. Hey, I'm doing this.
Exactly.
You know? And what has that been like for you? Because I know it's a constant.
It is a constant. For different periods of time, I have had a social media manager to help me.
Okay.
Right now, I'm kind of transitioning from that, and I have an intern that's going to be working with me to help me keep it up. And it's not easy because all of the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that was foreign language to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I had to learn it and work it.
Right. And
so I needed help. Right. So I had to get help because I'm doing motivation. Yes. I'm talking about my books. I'm talking about my parent workshops. And I'm talking about my tutoring. Right. So I have to be strategic and intentional about what I post.
Exactly.
And I do not post every day.
Right.
My hat goes off to you. I do not post every day.
Look, I'm like literally I'm on break right now because I have to get fresh content together,
Yes,
to go
yes.
back. Right. But I like,
And the reels and the
yeah,
videos and yeah.
it is
And going live.
yes, and that's something because one of the things that I do with the podcast when I'm not doing these wonderful interviews, I also when I do just the regular ones that have the motivational quote that has me talking about my current journey, I usually share a sip, which is because I'm also a certified level 1 wine and spirits. I have my wine and spirits certification, and so I share a special sip, something that I may have sipped recently that I think people should try. Is usually a wine or a cocktail or something like that, and they can sip it along with the podcast.
Okay.
And then I usually either talk about my journey or sometimes I write flash fiction and read the story on the
Okay.
podcast. And
Okay.
then I always end it with a Prince, something Prince related because I'm a huge
Yes.
fan.
Yes. Yes.
And so that takes so much time. But I literally had to learn all these things over the course of the 4 years,
Yeah.
putting all these things together because I didn't have the money to really pay a bunch of people to do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can do this. I can do this. And
Yeah.
at first, when I started, I didn't have a full-time job. We moved from Boston down to Maryland,
Gotcha.
and I was like, I'm gonna focus on my writing. Let's see how this goes.
Yes. Yes.
And I
Yes.
have more time. And now I have an extra kid, a
Yes.
job now, and a full-on family life, and I'm trying to
Right.
balance it all. And so,
Mm-hmm.
I think I give you kudos too because it is not easy being a self-publishing author. And I always just want to level set people coming into this space
Yeah.
because it takes time to grow your brand. And you have to treat your books like a product. It is a business.
It is a business.
That's something that
That was a hard lesson for me.
yeah, that was one of the first lessons that I learned because I did the self-publishing formula with Mark Dawson, his program, and
Okay.
that's what if it wasn't for that program, I wouldn't be where I am today. So
Okay.
I'm like you in the sense that you learned something from your coach. That he was like my coach with through that program, and so treating this as a business and creating streams within my business so that
Yes.
it speaks to my brand. That is a
Yes.
big thing. And so Lizzie B is a brand like you like
Yes, she is.
yeah, I mean KP Carter is a brand. And so I agree with you. Any and everything that you put on out into the social media universe has to be intentional. That I always speak about being intentional about what we post and what we do because um it ties back to our overall brand. It could affect whether or not we get new readers or not. Who's going to
Exactly.
yeah. And I can't afford me posting about the vacation I went on last weekend or hanging out with my
Right.
buddies that affecting a reader
Right.
that might or might not pick up my book. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Unless that experience ties right into your storyline.
right. Exactly. That's what man. I recently did a article. One of the magazines here did an article on me, and that was one of the questions about social media. How do you
Okay.
navigate social media space? And I told in that my answer, I said you have to have a fine line between your personal life and what you share on your social media page if you're trying to run a business because even though we're authors, our authorship is our business, and we have to be,
Exactly.
good stewards of the craft of our industry, of the genre that we're writing in, and of our own businesses and who we show up as authentically
Exactly.
know, has to be able to be on brand at all times. So if we step out here doing craziness, we're not on brand.
No.
And so I said, and if you're just running just a normal business, if you are, some good or service, you do not want to put something out there that would deter people from hiring you.
No.
For your services.
Exactly, because the goal is to attract.
Right.
Someone told me you're not chasing customers, you're not chasing readers, but you are attracting them.
Right.
With your message, with your brand, with what you promote, what you put out there, all of that will attract, and we just have good intentions, and then we're positive people too. I believe. I have a lot of faith in just knowing that what is for me is for me.
Right.
And it's going to come.
Exactly. And it may take time. And that's the wonderful thing that I do. One of the things I also love about what we do as self-publishing authors, especially when you are true to what you're trying to do and you're not trying to buy your way into this.
Yeah.
I feel like, for me, I've literally had to grow my social media page from 0 to where it is now. And you really have to choose the right mediums where you find the most engagement to be able to do this. And I feel like if you're trying to chase, if you're paying to do it, you're not going to get there, and you're not going to be sustainable for the long term. And I have people reach out to me all the time. Do you want to pay for advertisement or pay to post your stuff on our page? I was like, no, thank you. I've done a good job, growing organically over the last, I continue doing what I'm doing. And if they want to come, they will. If they don't, then somebody else will. If I have one reader, that's enough for me, because I feel like what we're doing, KP, is leaving a legacy.
Exactly.
Right here, what you've done is created a legacy and created breadcrumbs for other people, children, adults, to pick up those books about Lizzie B. Hayes and go and say, you know what, let me find out more about what happened in Newark during that time, during 1967. Like, I had no idea. Now that's going to make me go and do some research. I'm working on my work in progress right now. I wanted to draw a connection between a scar on one of my characters' bodies, and I'm going to connect it to the Chicago, what is it? It's the Chicago freedom movement.
Okay.
And so I'm going to draw a connection to that. And I can't wait. And I'm doing this research, I'm reading, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know this. I didn't know this. I didn't know that they did a movement to try to deal with the racial issues in the North like they were doing in the South. I didn't know that.
Exactly. People don't. That's why I wanted to magnify the unrest at that time, because people have one view of Newark, New Jersey. I don't want to be there. Newark was a wonderful place to grow up. And it's very dear to my childhood. I'm a proud product of the Newark public school system. And people don't always hear that side of the story. And the rebellion is I haven't seen it in any social studies books, but it may be, maybe it is, but I just haven't seen it.
Well, and it may be getting scratched out because of
at this
deniers of the critical race theory and all that stuff.
Which is just wow.
Yeah, it's wild. And I feel like it's just, that's why I'm glad that you wrote this book. I'm glad that we have it, and that I will be getting it for the kids in my family for Christmas gifts. These are great Christmas gifts, you guys, for the children and your children and your family, and to share with other children outside of your family. Like, that's something that we used to do a lot, is give books as gifts.
Exactly.
Forget the toys. I always tell my mom and dad when they try to, well, what does Morgan want for Christmas? Don't get him any toys. Get him books.
Yes.
I
Right.
want books for him. And
Mhm.
so, and these
Build
are
up that library at home
exactly
so that they see reading as an enjoyable experience,
right.
not something that is a chore
Sure.
that I
Right.
have to read and answer questions.
Right. Right.
That's not how you cultivate the love of reading.
Right. And I love that they have to read and write reports.
Yes. Yes, yes.
What a great, just wonderful, wonderful nuggets to like I said, if you're an adult and you read these stories, it's like it just reminds you of your childhood, a feel good time in your life, but also bring you, just open your eyes if you didn't grow up in Newark to a time period that is a poignant point in time through the eyes of a child and really draw a connection there that resonates with you, no matter the age. I just
Right,
think
right.
I think they would make great TV movies,
You're not the first person to say that to me, that Lizzie B should be a cartoon or a movie. Because like I say, she and her family, they're an ordinary family
right.
living in an extraordinary time period. And they're just living life.
Right.
But all of these things are happening around them.
Right, right. And the same thing is happening today. Like we're living through a lot that's going on right now. And I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more from Lizzie. Even if she gets to today, we'll see Lizzie tackle a lot of the things that we're tackling too. And I'm thankful and grateful to you and thankful to God for giving you the gift to be able to bring these beautiful stories to life. And I can't wait to see what you do with Lizzie and where she goes from here. Before we wrap up, because I want to be mindful of your time. Now you don't have to be a Prince fan, but if you are, or any of his proteges or people that he's worked with, please share with us your favorite Prince song or earliest Prince memory, if you have one.
I am a Prince fan. Yes. I never got to see him. I wanted to see him. There was a chance to see him early on, way before he passed, when I was much younger. I just didn't have the opportunity to see him. But my favorite is Purple Rain. Purple Rain is my favorite. And that movie, whenever I see that it's on, I'm on it and I'm dancing. Yes.
That's that movie, the album. It is just.
It is a classic.
It is. You can't get away from it. You can't get away from it. I swear, it's like every song on it. Everybody knows. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks know every song on that album. At least 4 or 5 of them. Yes. And we all know how to do the dances that go along with it.
Yes.
Great choice.
Yes.
Would you pick any particular song, or would it have to be Purple Rain from the album?
So another song I love is Little Red Corvette.
That's gonna be the song of the week.
Yes.
So everybody, if you haven't turned on Little Red Corvette, yes, please pump that up in your car, in your house. Yes. In honor of Lizzie B. Hayes, Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes and Miss KP Carter, because she is an awesome author. I'm just incredibly grateful and thankful to you. Is there anything that you would like to share with the audience about upcoming events that you have, things that you would like for us to know, anything that you would like for us to go out and get in terms of the books, merchandise, what have you? Let us know. So
I would love for you to stock up on the Lizzie B. Hayes series, Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes, 2nd edition. and Lizzie B. Hayes and the Great Camp Caper. They make great gifts for children. I did have some t-shirts at one time, but I need to revamp them. And
okay.
So I'll be getting some other merchandise for the holidays. But the main thing is to get these books into kids' hands because they are page turners. Yeah. They are page turners, and kids will learn a lesson while they are reading them. And in terms of upcoming events, like I said, I'm preparing for a parent workshop in November, but real soon I will be talking about my workshop virtually. Okay. That you'll be able to join me either in a live workshop, or you'll be able to get a recording. Okay. And all of that you can find out about on my website, KP Carter Writes, WRITES.com. And I also have a newsletter that I'm reviving. Okay. So I'm looking forward to getting more people to just learn about what they can do to help their child to be a better reader. Mm-hmm. All of my, I'm looking at my old blog posts and former newsletters to revive them and just get it out to get people the information. Parents want information. After all of the years that I was out in the trenches, I never met a parent that didn't want their child to succeed, right. But they always ask, well, what can I do at home? Right. What do I do? So
I was gonna go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can subscribe to my newsletter also on my website. And my Instagram is Literacy Whisperer. And I have a link tree which will show you how to sign up for a 15-minute consultation to see if me working with your child is a good fit, to invite me to come in and present to your parents. So that's also available on my Instagram page. You can find that. Haven't been doing much tweeting. I do have a Twitter account, but you can only do but so much. But so much. And I'm planning on reviving my LinkedIn page as well. Okay. But kpcarterwrites.com, and on Instagram, I am Literacy Whisperer. And on Facebook, I'm KP Carter, the Literacy Whisperer.
Awesome, folks. I will say, please check out her blog. It is awesome. I actually read one of your articles, Get Caught Reading, and tweeted it. Yes. And so, so please, guys, check out her blog. It is amazing. She got some good information on there too. Great articles to check out. And also her website is very informative, very well done. Definitely well done. A lot of great just content, great content in general, and ways to find out about your services and the things that you're doing. And so please, guys, please go to her website and support the efforts that she's doing in this space, because we need more educators who are intentional about what the content that they're putting out and the ways in which they're reaching out to our children. And she is definitely doing it in a positive way. And so I am so, truly blessed and honored to have you here today. And I thank you for sharing your story, your journey. And please feel free to share any new up and coming things with me. I'll be happy to share it with my audience and send it to my email list as well. And with that said, that's a wrap, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This was awesome. Another amazing children's author on the pod, and she's amazing, incredible. Please support her. We don't do this for fun. We do this because we're true to it. And so it is from the heart. And I could tell Miss Carter is doing this from our heart. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's a blessing.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Catch the next episode. I'm gonna